Yeah, so it started from obviously a young age. I grew up with three brothers, so just anything makeup or girly related, I was very left to my own devices. So definitely got into it at a pretty young age. I would say like 13, 14. But then I really started getting into the application and like really getting into the like process of it. Probably around when I was in college, I did a lot of modeling. So it was very much like I was getting my makeup done all the time. And I was like just absorbing all the information. I was like, oh, I love this. This is so cool. And it just really got me into doing some, getting to know how to do it and really what worked for me.
Well, it's funny because you were talking about application, application, application. How important, because I'm kind of just starting to learn that. How important is it about learning application versus products?
It's huge because I think I've said this before, like you can have the best of the best and have no clue how to apply it. And then, it might not be looking as good as it could be, right? So definitely figuring out techniques that work for you and figuring out, just what kind of looks look the best on you is huge in my opinion.
What about learning about, like you said, different types of ethnicities, for example? Like, for example, I have a hooded eye, you have a non hooded eye. Did you go to classes or did you learn on YouTube? Like, what would you recommend to people who are just getting into learning about beauty? Because there's obviously different shapes of people's faces and how they would learn to apply makeup.
Right, absolutely. So I find like there are a lot of good resources online, and I think that's more of where I learned it from. I also learned it, like, I have a lot of friends that went through beauty school and cosmetology and all that fun stuff. So I was really lucky to have those people in my life who were like super educated on it and were able to tell me like, oh, you have this face shape and this kind of eye shape and what have you, right? So it definitely, you can also kind of look online and see, they'll have pictures, like if you look up like eye shapes, right? Yeah, like the hooded eye or whatever, it gives you a pretty big range of like what looks like what, and then you're able to pick out, the one that you think best suits you. Or if you go even to a makeup store and they have people there that work there that can kind of give you a little bit more information, that is really helpful too.
Yeah, that's true, and that's great. That's very sound advice. Because I find sometimes that some trends that are trending right now may look good on some people and don't look good on others, basic on the shape of their face. For example, contouring. If you have an angular face, anyways, it can actually make you look a little bit gaunt, right?
Yeah.
Or sometimes
Yeah.
for me, like with a hooded eye, if I put too much shimmer, it makes my eye look puffy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I find that's huge with contouring is you really got to figure out what your face shape is, because if somebody has a rounder face, the contour that I do isn't gonna actually accentuate their natural bone structure, right?
Right. So, what do you recommend, for example, ladies that are over 40? Do they do things differently than ladies that are younger? Because I know even like with like versus a powder foundation versus a liquid foundation, I know at least for me sometimes if I put on too much powder, it can look cakey, whereas other people it looks fine.
Yeah. No, I think that's huge. And a lot of people don't really understand. Like, I've run into a few times where I've worked with people and, it's just like they have no idea how to work on, people who are older skin, right? So it's just definitely like learning the tech. There are different techniques, you're going to be using a lot more primer and you're going to be using a lot more kind of smoothing products, like a really smooth foundation or really, and I find a lot with people who have more textured skin, it's almost like a less is more kind of situation, because the more you pack on, the more it's just going to kind of accentuate those things that people might actually be trying to cover, right?
So it'll accentuate the texture if you put more makeup
Yeah.
on top of the texture.
Yeah, it's like if I always find if you're piling on a lot of makeup, makeup is makeup. It's not skin, right? So it's like it'll always sit on top of the skin. So the more you kind of pack on a lot of stuff, like stuff, something like a powder highlight or even liquid highlight, if you have kind of more visible pores or even like scarring on your face, that's really going to accentuate it. So you're going to want to kind of find things that, maybe put a little bit of highlight on, the top of your cheekbone and maybe in the corner of your eye rather than, trends that are like the big, bold highlighter that's just, you can see from across the
I
street,
know.
right? Like that's not going to look, the best on people who have extra texture on your skin, right?
Well, also, you just brought up a point too that made me think, what about when people take a trend too far? For example, that highlighter that they could be like putting on too much and literally like glow like a disco ball. So then they walk into a room and everybody's like, whoa, turn that down. Do you think that sometimes people need to understand how to use a trend properly?
Yeah, so my makeup style personally is like a less is more kind of approach. I'm very much like kind of that, like I love doing trends and I love trying out kind of bold makeup, but also I find that I like finding kind of very practical and very everyday looks that accentuate my natural features and make me feel good about myself. Like there's a lot of times where, yeah, I want to walk in a room and have everybody turn around and look at me because I just got this crazy eye look or highlighter for the gods. But like a lot of times I just want to look like the best version of myself. So that's really my makeup approach in general and what I do on myself. I think, I mean, I find makeup is so empowering and people love doing, it in the most creative ways. And I always say, all the power to you, you look amazing. That's makeup can be art. So I find people that really go above and beyond with the looks, it's more of a statement, right? It's more of their kind of statement look. And I think that's fine. Like, I think it's fine to do, but I wouldn't say that's necessarily my style. Or if you're just getting into makeup, like, I would find your everyday kind of natural look, rather than going all out with the trends.
Right, right. You actually just brought up a good point. Let's talk about how you think that beauty can be empowering for women. How do you think that, like you said, it can be empowering and how it can make you feel more confident perhaps? Or you tell me how you think.
Yeah, so I love to say that like makeup is the ultimate, like I feel like a shapeshifter, like I can make my cheekbones pop out more, I'll look more flushed, whatever. So I find like in you gotta always be looking and working towards the best version of yourself, right? And I find for me, when I do my makeup or if I'll do somebody else's makeup, like I want them to feel really confident and I want them to say like, oh, I love my eyes. I'd love to accentuate my eyes, or, oh, I love my lips. Like I want to really, it's kind of learning those parts of our face that we love and then like accentuating them or making them super beautiful. And I find like the more you love something, the more you want to show it off. So like when you start playing in makeup and really, you know, accentuating your features on your face, like you're really just showing off how much you love your skin and how much you love your face. And I think that's huge. And even with, like it being a form of art, like there's a lot of creative people out there. And, the more that they can express themselves, the more that, that's a form of self-love, right?
I think you said it so well because you mentioned confidence. That's the word that kind of stuck out when you were just saying that. I don't think that makeup makes you confident, but what I think it does, it enhances, because, and I want to get your opinion, and for those of you in the chat too, I'd love your opinion. Does it not bring out how you see yourself? Like you said, you see yourself with, this powerful eye, and so by doing that on the outside, it kind of evokes a certain part of your personality out, depending on how you do your face.
Absolutely. Like I love, like my eyes or like my kind of bone structure. That's something that I really like. And I find when you put on makeup and you accentuate them, it's like you notice them more. So then when you are going out and you're not wearing makeup or you're just, around the house or what have you, you're still thinking, like, you'll look in the mirror and go, oh, I have these like great cheekbones, or like, oh, my eyes look so, whatever today, right? So it's really kind of almost reminding yourself that you are, beautiful, and that, it should build your confidence that you have all these great features that you're able to accentuate when you want to.
Absolutely. And also, I think certain makeup is for special occasions, and I think it actually emphasizes that special occasion. Like, for example, if you're, going out to eat dinner, or, actually tell us about your wedding, because you just got married less than a month ago, and how you were able to make this already momentous, very special occasion even more so because, you guys, she did her own makeup for her wedding, and it was stellar, just to let you know. But tell us how you, made that moment even more special by doing that.
Yeah, so like I was pretty dead set on doing my own makeup for the wedding. I also find like the more comfortable and confident you get with your abilities on accentuating your natural features, like the more it's important to you. So I was really excited because I knew what looked good on my face. I was gonna try a little bit of a new eye look. Obviously, I was going quite a bit more glam than my normal look. So that was really exciting to do. I felt really confident about it, and I think that made the day all the more better because I loved the look. It was exactly what I wanted because I had full control over it. And like it was a special moment, definitely. Like especially when people would come up and compliment my makeup and ask who the makeup artist was.
I know.
It's me, So it was really great. It definitely made me feel confident in my own abilities, and that I definitely, accentuated the parts that I wanted to really, put out there, kind of thing.
Absolutely. I think I came up to you and I was like, oh my gosh, your makeup was amazing. Who did it? I love it. Because I appreciate when people do that well. It is like a piece of art to me. And I remember Da Vinci was saying that there was a ratio. It's called golden ratio. And it's a golden ratio that subconsciously we see it in all things in nature. We see it in the nautilus, in shells. And the ratio is also for beauty. And it can be seen in the Mona Lisa. And it's a subconscious thing that we all key into. What I like about makeup too, and I, if you can elaborate on this, is that makeup not only can, like you said, emphasize things, but makeup can also, by contouring and hiding certain things and concealing certain things, it can make you look more balanced, and you can show your beauty off more by just making your face look more symmetrical, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's definitely like a huge thing that I like to do, I'm great with doing kind of, making the cheekbones look a little bit higher and making the, forehead look a little bit smaller, There's so many different tricks that you can do. And it's just incredible the amount of, that's why I call it like shape shifting.
Yeah.
Because you're able to change almost the structure of your face by using, it's also, that's why I say it's art, because it is an art tactic where you're working with light and shadow, right? And where the light is going to be hitting your face. And, if you put contour down here and in specific spots, it's going to create that natural or an illusion of a shadow, which then ultimately kind of changes the look of your face.
So, for example, if somebody had a larger lower jowl and they want to make it slimmer, they can do that through contouring, or if they want to bring something out, they can do it with something else, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like you're almost creating the illusion of that. So like if I really wanted to make my jawbone or my jaw and my cheekbones really stick out, I could put a little bit of shadow in here, which makes my cheeks look a little bit more hollow.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. And then really pop out that bone structure. And it's like, it's fun. Like the more you play around with it, the more you're like, whoa, like that's so cool. Like I didn't know I could do that with my face. So like it's just really fun to play around with, and you got to find what you like. I mean, I've seen incredibly talented people that I know, and even like a makeup artist online where they can make half their face look super aged, and then the other half they can make it look like a celebrity, or like, you know what I mean? Like you can completely change I mean, obviously you wouldn't wear that out, but it's just in camera, it's incredible. And I know in the TV and movie industry, they do that all the time. They can make actresses or actors look more aged or look younger, like all by using, makeup, which is incredible.
Well, I saw a makeup artist, you guys, and let me know if you've seen her before. She was on YouTube, and she did one side beauty and the other side, and she's female. She made herself look like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe it. I mean, she really did. And then she made herself look like Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
And
I've seen that too.
Yes, she's Asian.
Yeah.
I was like, I could not believe it.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
It's so funny. And you also just said a really important thing too. And you're talking about experimenting, playing around. How important it is and I say this also for myself, to get outside of your comfort zone. You know how like we sometimes get stuck in the rut and we do the same makeup over and over and over again, yet we expect a different result, which is crazy. We're using the same color, same techniques, and we somehow think we're going to look different. Explain to us the importance of going outside and being adventurous and trying new products, new techniques, new brushes.
Yeah, so luckily, I mean, we kind of live in the age where you're getting so much content online, so you can find new tricks and new ways to apply something that you've been using for a while, right? So I find like what I like to do is I will, find a trend or find something that I'm kind of like, I like that, like I want to try that. And then I do what I know how to do. So let's say like my face, like foundation, whatever. And then it's like a new eye look. Then I'll be like, okay, and I'll try it on. And then I usually have like a whole moment where I'm sitting, in front of a light and taking a bunch of selfies. And then I'm like really analyzing and looking at it, be like, oh, this looks really good. Or like, well, this looks super over the top. Like I like it, but I don't think I would kind of wear it out. So I think like if you have, I mean, I know a lot of people are really strapped for time and, just the consistency is the easiest way to go. But if you are having a moment, you're going out with some girlfriends or you're going out on a date or something and you want to try something new, like, I mean, I think you should totally go for it. Definitely stepping out of your comfort zone, using a different technique or using a bright color when you're used to neutrals. That's my thing. Like bright colors is very out, kind of out of my comfort zone. So when I do try something like that, it's like, I mean, I like the result and I find it does make me feel confident, but it's definitely like a whole different ball game than doing what you typically know.
I totally agree, because I see it. You guys let us know in the chat. I see all these Coachella colors that are coming out now, and for festival season and everything. And I feel I'm ancient. I don't know what to do with these palettes. I see them; they have a day glow, and so I go onto YouTube and I look at all these millennials applying what looks like pictures of unicorns and rainbows all over their eyelids. I'm like, I must be out of date because I don't understand even the application of some of this stuff. So you just recommend people, no matter what, to go out of their comfort zone and try it on.
Yeah, I think, I mean, if you are the type of person to go to music festivals, like that's the place to just try something completely out of your comfort zone, whether that's the intense glitter or, you know, a crazy eye that's just bright and big, bold colors. I think that like obviously it's like you kind of go with the center. I'm the same way. Like I have and like, wow, this is crazy. Like I have not seen this, or even when people draw on the little designs on their eyelids, like I love that. And it's just like finding out, you know, finding the confidence to do that and finding the, you know, almost inspiration as well, right? Like I mean, you want to find something that resonates with you. Like I mean, go ahead and try every trend that you want to, but I find the best results come from the things that intrigue you and really interest you. And you're like, oh, I really like that. I think I'd like to see how that looks on me. I find you always get the best result when you go for something that resonates with you the best.
Well, you know, you just said you were talking about resonating with you. Do you think it's important to try trends that resonate in your particular age group? Because, for example, I don't know if somebody that is 50 should be doing, you know, Coachella trends necessarily, or is that okay and all things go?
Really, I think it's an all things go situation. I mean, if you are feeling it and you're feeling yourself, like go for it. I think it's fine. It will definitely apply differently. Like that's definitely something that can be not a like, you know, road, not an obstacle, but it is something that you have to like keep in mind, right? I mean, like you said with the hooded eyes, like if you were gonna do this big bold eye look, it's probably gonna look completely different on somebody who has hooded eyes versus not hooded eyes. Or even I know there's this huge trend going around a while back of doing like a cat eye, but when you have hooded eyes. And it was so great to see that there was that kind of, you know, new technique in a way to find what looks good. But like that would never look good on me, or not that it wouldn't look good, but it wouldn't have the same effect, right? So I think when it comes to makeup, all age groups, it's a free for all, but you know, definitely figure out what resonates with you. I mean, if you want to go and do, you know, purples and blues and, you know, glitter and all that stuff, I mean, I think it's so fun. I think it's definitely a go for it.
And you know, you mentioned another thing too, because like you were saying, oh, if you want to go out on a date or out with girlfriends, try something new. If a lot of people don't have a lot of time, I always find that, at least for me, the other day I tried a new technique and had someplace to go. It didn't work out like I thought, and it stressed me out. So maybe it's good sometimes when you have that extra time, you know, to save some things on social media that you like or whatever, and then take the time and say, oh, I'm going to try this new cat eye look, or I'm going to try those individuals that you did the other day that I can't do, you know, and just try something new.
Yeah, so my kind of golden rule is that when I have something like, let's say, take the wedding for an example, I did 2 test runs with the makeup. The first time, my test run was just my skin and how I wanted my face to look. And then that was the first time. And then the second time, I did the skin as well as the eye look. And then I kind of, you know, was looking, I was like, what do I need to change? Like, do I need to add a little bit of like more smokiness here, like different glitter? So the second time that I did it, when I did the eye look, I decided that I needed a different kind of glitter, something that was more kind of had a little bit more of a pop to it. And I think like if you're able to have that time where you know you have an event coming up, or a date or a girls' night or whatever, and you want to wear a new look, if you have time and you're able to try that technique or that trend before that, like even if it's a day before, then you're already one step ahead. Then you know, oh, this doesn't work. Or you go, oh, I have to change it a little bit. I have to go higher up with the cat eye or what have you, right? And you're able to kind of figure out like what you need to do with that situation.
I agree, because that way I think, especially if you're doing your makeup for your wedding, like you were, it's just going to limit the stress on that day that is also so packed full of stuff that you're going to be doing anyways. The last thing you want to do is to have to worry about your makeup, right?
Yeah, and another thing, just really quick, when I did the look, I took a picture of myself in the front, profile, so that I had that reference for when I was doing my makeup on the day. So it was very stress-free. Like I knew what to do. I knew what it looked like in the end. And that was super, super helpful to me. So I definitely recommend that as a little tip for if you're trying something new, always take pictures of it. And definitely the profiles too. You don't want to forget about the profiles.
That brings up such a good point, because if you ladies out there or gentlemen are getting your makeup done, take photos as they go along. So if you like something, you have, even I take a photo and I close my eyes so I can see the full eyeshadow of how they did it. Later on, if you like it, maybe you can try to do it yourself. And I guarantee a lot of times you're just not going to remember.
No, you can't rely on just memory alone, especially if someone else is doing the makeup for you, because half the time your eyes are closed, right? You don't know what's going on and what's getting put on your eyes or what have you. I would huge recommend taking pictures, especially of looks that you like, or if you try something new on yourself and you like it, definitely take a picture of it, because you're going to need that as a reference if you want to do it later on.
Absolutely. And I thought of another thing too, you guys, is what I do is if you like a product from somebody, I take the photo. And then I also take the photo of the bottom so I can see the number, like if it's number 107 or whatever.
Yes.
I take a photo of each one of the products so you can so you'll remember, because later on you think you're going to remember and you go home and you won't. Here on Amazon, they have subscription boxes that you can purchase right here on Amazon. Tell us, do you like subscription boxes? What do you think about them, and what do you think is their value?
Honestly, I think they're great. My brother actually, for my birthday last year, got me a 3-month subscription box for makeup, and it was great. Like, I mean, when it comes to like the value of them, it's huge. Like, I mean, you're getting products that cost just as much as the whole box in general, and that's one product out of the whole group. So I find it's incredible, especially if you're starting out your makeup collection. Then you're getting all these products, you're saving so much money. I mean, for me, like I do already have quite a lot of makeup, so like getting all the more. By the end of my 3-month, little subscription, I was like, okay, like I'm good. Like I need, like I need to use up some of this stuff first. But if you're starting out your makeup collection, it's a genius idea. Really, it is. You're saving so much money. You're getting such a wide variety of items. And it's even like an incredible gift for somebody, Like, I think you're able to choose kind of what you like, or even like your skin tone and whatever, just before you get the makeup box, just so everything's like matching for you. And like, I was shocked that my brother got it for me, first of all. And I was like, I loved it. It was so great.
I agree. And also I think what it did for me was, I also have a subscription box. What I loved about it is things that I normally wouldn't pick, because I wouldn't know to pick and I didn't understand. I would get a small sample and I'm like, oh, what's this? Oh, okay, whatever, I'll try it. I liked it so much. Several times I've actually gone on Amazon, then I've purchased the full size because I was given the little sample of something in the subscription box.
Yeah, oh, that's huge too, because I think I've done the same thing. I've gotten something in the subscription box and I'm like, wow, like this is really great. Like I wouldn't, if I walked into a makeup store, or even if you're looking online, maybe that's something that I'm not gravitating to. But then now that I have it in front of me, I'm like, oh, I should give it a try. Like I know I got a bright blue eyeliner and a bright pink one. And I was like, okay, naturally, I don't think I would ever go out of my way to buy this. But I did some really fun looks with it. Like it was really great. And I was like, okay, like I actually really like this. And it's definitely good for pushing your creativity. I love the subscription boxes. Like I said, especially if you're starting out a makeup collection, or you just want to try some new things that you're not sure if you're going to love or you're going to hate. Honestly, it's so worth the money. You're saving a ton.
You really are. And you know, we were talking about, I was thinking, oh, what happens if I don't like something? If there's 4 or 5 small items, what am I going to do with them? I end up saving them, and then I end up sending them to friends that I'm like, oh, well, you kind of have maybe the same hair coloring as mine. This lipstick doesn't look good on me, but you know, maybe it's going to look good on you. Or I have friends that are blonde, and some items like a really orangey lipstick does not look good on me. It looks great on them. And I don't know why it was in my box, but you know, hey, I want to be able to give it to, you know, somebody else. And so they can find value in it as well. Or I know I have a gajillion highlighters, I have a gajillion mascaras. I don't need them, but I can also give them to my friends.
Yeah, I did that exact same thing actually. I think I got a mascara in my box, and I'm a very like, I stick with one mascara for a long time until I'm like, okay, let's switch it up. So I'm not a very multiple mascara user. I know a lot of people are. I have one friend, I think she uses like 3 mascaras in like one go. But so she's the type of person that I'm like, oh my God, here, I got this mascara. I don't want it. Like it's not, it's just gonna go to waste if I keep it. Here, you have it because I know you're gonna use it. And it's super great for that, definitely. And I mean, typically in my experience with it, I probably only got about 2 or 3 things that I was like, like not really feeling it, whatever. But everything else was fantastic.
Absolutely. So you guys, you know, check out the Allure beauty boxes that are right here on Amazon. You can get the subscription right here on Amazon. It's a terrific deal. What do you think about the new trend of men wearing makeup?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I think even if if I love when guys even use it for just kind of simple things like filling in their eyebrows or like something that's just how we use makeup, just accentuating your natural beauty. Like I think it's so great. I mean, Dave, my husband, I try and like do his eyebrows all the time. And like he's definitely not a fan. But you know what? Like, it's just, I love it being more inclusive. I love seeing brands do more like promotion videos with men in there. I have a lot of great men in my life that are super into beauty. And it's just, I love to see that it's way more accepted and way more promoted. And it's great to see people be creative and be themselves and be celebrated for it. I think that's so important.
Absolutely. I think to me, I say it's about time. And I've never thought of it as anything unusual. And I think it's, you know, more power to you. I think it's terrific. What about men in skincare? Because I've noticed that I was reading articles on how men now are really, really getting into skincare, whereas before it was primarily just women.
Skincare is so huge, and I don't think that people realize how important it is for everybody. So I know like in my family, I have 3 brothers and obviously my dad, and they're all very like typically masculine guys.
Right.
And they're all like, "Oh, I don't need to do this." And they're all arguing with me, and I'm like, "You need a face wash, you need a moisturizer, and you need to put on your sunscreen." Like that's the bare minimum. And it's funny because I have I think 2 out of my 3 brothers fully on board. And they have come up to me and they said, I feel so good. Like my skin feels nice.
Uh-huh.
Like I get compliments. Like I'm so glad. And I mean, also like, you know, a little shout out to my sister-in-law and like my brother's girlfriend for really like kicking him in the butt to do that too. It's so fun. And they're like, oh, like, yeah, this is actually really nice. So I try to say, like, I'm using that as an example as, you know, guys who are very like into their, you know, masculinity and what have you, right? I put that in quotes because I think, you know, if you're masculine, you're masculine. I don't think, you know, doing skincare changes that. But yeah, like it took them a second to, and it's just a full turnaround. It's free. It's your skin is it's the largest organ that you have. And if you're not taking care of that, like that's part of your body. That's something, it's not, you know, just for beauty and for other people to look at. Like, it's taking care of yourself, right? You want to take care of your heart health and your brain health and your lungs. Like, why not take care of your skin as well, you know?
Absolutely. And it's really important that it's really important to start this type of skincare super young. Because
Yes.
it's not the damage a lot of times with sun and with not taking care of your skin actually happens when you're younger, and it shows up when you're older. So it's like, in order to preserve it and make sure you look good as you get older, you've really got to start. I mean, what would you think, like in your teen years?
Oh, absolutely. I think I mean, obviously, when we're young kids, our parents, slather us in sunscreen all the time. But then I find it's like, as soon as you hit puberty, that's when your skin obviously goes through a huge change. And that's really where I think most people get left to their own devices. So I know, like, myself personally, my skincare was such a hot mess when I was like younger. I didn't really have any idea what I was doing. I didn't, at that time, social media wasn't really as big of a thing. So it was very, like, difficult to figure out what to do. And I definitely did all the wrong things, but like, I really started getting into it probably when I was around like 17, 18, where I was like, okay, oh my God, like, this stuff is actually really important. Like, I need to really step up my game and, like, really do that. And I mean, oh my God, I hate this excuse, but I hear people use it all the time where they go, oh, well, when I burn, it just turns into a tan. And it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no. It's like, don't say that around me. It drives me so nuts. But it's like, people don't understand that even just getting a tan is still extremely damaging to your skin. It's just being subjected to those UV rays. Like, that's what is damaging to the skin. And I mean, I'm guilty for loving to sit out in the sun. Like, my skin is so fair that I'm like, okay, let's get a little bit of color, going. But it's like, I'm so big on sunscreen, and that's something that's super, super important for everybody. And I know that I don't understand why it's still a almost controversial topic where people are like, no, I don't wear sunscreen. It's like, why? I'm so confused by that. It's so funny.
I know. I thought of another controversial topic. What do you think? Because I know you've done this before, because I remember what you said before. I won't do this, but I know so many people that do. And my old roommate in college, we used to have this big debate over it. Is it okay to sleep in makeup or not?
So, I mean, yes, I was guilty of that in college. You would get home from the club and just crash on your bed. But you know what? It's definitely damaging to the skin, but it's almost like if you do it once or twice, maybe 3 times a year, you're not going to see a lot of damage. It's more of that, like, every day, every weekend. Like, if that's kind of what you're doing, like, I mean, at that point, just buy a bag of, buy a little thing of makeup wipes and keep it by your bedside. And then, when you are so tired, you can't get up, can't wash your face, just wipe your makeup off, like, it's something, right? So I think it's very much moderation when it comes to sleeping in makeup. I mean, if you're doing it every weekend, like, you need to figure something out. Figure out a plan, because because makeup is drying. So the more that your skin is being, sucked all the moisture out of it, right? You're gonna see a lot of that, a tightness, or a lot of, kind of, more blocked pores, acne. Like, those are all kind of problems that arise from sleeping in makeup, right? So it's, you're digging yourself into a hole at that point.
Well, also, I think, like you said, it clogs your pores, but I also think it makes your skin overall dull. You know, we're going to be
Yes.
talking in a moment about the importance of skin care today, and also like the need for exfoliants and all that kind of stuff. And I think with guys, and tell me if you think this is true, because you're talking about, you know, masculine guys or whatever, sometimes it's a sexual stereotype, I think, where men are not supposed to, you know, worry about skin care. And if even if they have dry skin, they're going to be macho about it and not do anything, because they're not really taught, because it's not a typical guy thing. It's more of a girl thing growing up.
Yeah, like I think those like gender roles are just damaging. You know what I mean? Like it's just you're missing out on something that is healthy for you. You know, skincare is important. Like you're taking care of your body, you're taking care of your you know, skin as because it is an organ, right? So you got to kind of yeah, it's super damaging and I think that as well if you notice people who really take care of their skin, exactly what you said, versus people who don't, you're right. There is a more of a glow. There is more of that, you know, people's skin, when you take care of it, it looks good. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
just how, like that's just the natural consequence of taking care of your skin. It looks good. It looks hydrated. It looks healthy, right? So there definitely is a big kind of difference in how it looks. And that's the funny thing is, you know, your skin is the one organ on your body that you can see how its health, right? Like it's something that you physically can look in the mirror and go, oh, like, you know, obviously something's going on. My skin's looking really dull, or some people can look really kind of gray
Mm-hmm.
almost, you know, and it's just like it's definitely interesting. And the more you pay attention to it, the more you notice changes when you start actually really taking care of it.
And other people too. It's almost like a subconscious thing where you notice that they're attractive because their skin is glowing and they look healthy and it looks dewy and youthful, versus somebody's skin, like you said, that you could be a young person but still kind of have this gray pallor where you're like, something doesn't look right. I don't know what it is, but it's just, it's not empirically attractive.
No, absolutely. It's just, I mean, you want to, and I think also when people's skin looks nice, it's because they also feel good, you know? So it's like, it's also that attraction to people who are feeling healthy and feeling confident and feeling, you know, attractive as well. That's a huge part in it, right? I mean, you know, if your skin's looking really not great, I mean, I know when my skin has, you know, its moments, it's definitely, you know, I'm definitely like, oh my God, like I definitely feel way worse, right?
Oh, absolutely. Who are some of the beauty icons, some of the beauty gurus that you look up to?
For skincare or like makeup?
Both, or you know, beauty too. Like some people look up to like old
Oh, I
icons like
see.
Raquel Welch or Claudia Schiffer from the '90s, or you know, are there people that inspire you, and also people that deal with either makeup or skincare that you look up to that you think are inspirational for others?
Yeah, I definitely think like when it comes to YouTubers, there's a couple, and it's funny, I actually closely follow these two men. Their names are Robert Walsh and Hiram. His name is like Skincare by Hiram, and he's so into skincare. Like he's very knowledgeable about the ingredients and like what means what. So when you're reading, you know, a face wash or something, you're actually understanding what's going into it. And then Robert, he is like a makeup artist. Like he's been a certified makeup artist for a long time. And he really shows you techniques, and he'll make videos about trends that are going on and kind of break them down and be like, oh, you know, and he reacts to, you know, some people doing like crazy things for their makeup, and it will just kind of be like, this is why this doesn't work.
Ah,
He's great. And I also think there's a couple actresses. Obviously, you have like the ones like Jennifer Aniston. Like she's stunning. Like her skin is just absolutely gorgeous, and you know she always knows how to do the makeup that just accentuates her natural beauty. I love that. And Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other people. I'm so bad with names. So like that's where I'm like, oh no. Roz, who is that person? I think her name's like Florence Pooh, I think. I'm not sure exactly what her name is, but she's also stunning. Great skin, great makeup looks. She's really cool.
Oh, awesome. Now, speaking of makeup and skincare, you guys, she was so kind, Michelle was so kind to be able to send a list, which I've already put in the queue for you guys, of items that she recommends that are available on Amazon. And we're here talking about some terrific things that you can find perhaps on Amazon Prime Day. If not, you guys can find them every single day. And also, Amazon Prime Day is less than 1 week away. It's on the 21st, so we're all excited about it. So why don't we take a look at some of these? There's a little bit of color today. There's a little bit of skincare, some great looks for upcoming summer. So why don't we take a look at some of them, and then we'll have Michelle explain why she thinks these are ideal products for you guys. So the first one, I know we're excited. So the first one, and we talked about this a little bit before. I don't understand the concept of this. You guys are going to have to explain this to me. This is a BB cream. This is Maybelline Dream Fresh BB cream. Now, you can find it right here on Amazon. You can actually save a percentage right now. It's on sale. So why would you recommend a BB cream versus a regular foundation and a primer, especially for upcoming summer?
So I find BB creams they're very moisture based. They're very like moisturizer. I always say it's almost like, I'm not sure if it even is, like a tinted moisturizer. So it's a very thin layer. You're not feeling like you're wearing a lot of makeup. And it also has that nice tint to it so that you are looking, you're looking all very even skin tone and what have you when you go out. And I think it's good for summer because I know we're going through a heat wave right now, and it's like the last thing I want to do is be wearing, a ton of makeup out in the out in the sun right now and in the heat. But if you're still feeling like you want something that's going to give you an even skin tone and just kind of brighten you up a little bit, a BB cream is like the way to go. And I love that one. That one is kind of been a staple piece for me for a long time. I've been using it forever.
Now, does this one have a little bit of glow to it as well in the BB cream, or is it matte?
That one I believe is a little bit shimmery. Like it's not like glitter, but it definitely has a glow to it, which is why that's a huge trend for this summer is just glow, 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 looking glowy, glossy lips, glossy looks. That's just a huge thing for the summer. So I like it obviously in the summer because it's very lightweight, but it also gives you a really nice natural glow. And that's also what helps brighten up your face as well.
Which is so important, especially in summertime. You want that dewy, fresh look. And B. Curry says hello to you. Thank you. Hello. Gary says hello to you. Awesome. Hello. And Albert had said hello to you. So very, very cool. So I want to show you the next one, you guys, that Michelle had recommended. This is, and I am curious about this. This is the Maybelline Dream Radiant Liquid Foundation. This is a hydrating makeup. And right now it's got almost 3,000 reviews at 5 stars. It's got a ton of colors. So I think it would fit any skin type. So tell us about this. Is this full coverage? Is this for everyone?
So I put that one in there because if you're feeling like a BB cream isn't enough to cover your face, or you're feeling like you need a little bit something more, this is a medium coverage foundation, but it's also similar to the BB cream in the way that it's extremely hydrating and it's still going to give you a little bit of a glow. So it's more pigmented, so you have way more, color than just the BB cream. So that's why I say like a BB cream is like a tinted moisturizer. You're moisturizing your face with a little bit of color. And then with this one, it's a foundation. It's still a foundation, but it's very hydrating and it is medium coverage, which means you can build on top of it. So if you need one more layer of it to make it more of a full coverage, It's no problem. It's very buildable, but um, it's also still that very kind of, glowy, moisturizing, hydrating foundation.
That actually brings up a good question. I was wondering, when would somebody use a stick foundation and how would they make it not look cakey?
So I think a stick foundation is really good for very full coverage looks. There's all like I think if you're doing a photo shoot, let's say, or you're gonna be kind of on display somewhere, those are great because then it doesn't budge much. It doesn't have a lot of room to move. So, versus the liquid foundation that we were just talking about is that's very kind of, hydrating and it moves, right? Whereas a stick foundation is very like almost waxy, you know what I mean? So it's not gonna budge, it's not gonna go anywhere. It is definitely good for like an all day thing. Like if you're on the go and you need a full face of makeup all day, I think it's a great thing to use. And I also have seen people use stick foundations as almost just a concealer, like almost like highlighting those specific spots in their face because it is a full coverage thing. If you have a really oily skin type, that's more where you're going to lean towards stick foundations because it's not going to budge. It is a little bit drying, but people who have oily skin, they need that, right? So it's definitely works with skin types. I don't think it would honestly look good on me because I have a really dry skin type. So, having something like that is going to extra dry it out, which then makes it look cakey.
Right, and that's why I was saying it could look cakey. Now I know which one you prefer, but just for those out there, would you apply that with your sponge or a brush, and why?
The liquid foundation?
The stick.
Oh, the stick. I would definitely put the stick on and then I would get a damp sponge. And then if you really want it to stay all day, this is my own little hack, is you spray setting spray on the sponge and then blend it out like that. And I find it kind of gives you that extra kind of stability that it's not going to go anywhere. But I would definitely blend it out with a damp sponge because then you're able to kind of get it a little bit more malleable.
Oh, that's a great tip. And then also, like you said, if you sprayed it, then it would actually stay for
Yes.
like all day. You did that for your wedding, right?
I did, yes. I used setting spray like there's no tomorrow. I sprayed my bra or my sponge when I was kind of, and I find it also helps not have all the product kind of go into the sponge. It almost creates a barrier because you're putting a layer down of something that makes the makeup stick to the skin, right? So it's definitely a little helpful tip.
Oh, that's so funny. Now, here's another one that I actually want to get you guys. So I'm going to put this in my queue for Amazon Prime Day, which is on Monday. This is Physicians Formula. Now, this is it's called Muru Butter. It's a bronzer by Physicians Formula, and it's on sale right now. Why do you like this butter bronzer, and what do people do with this bronzer? This is not a powder, it's a bronzer.
Yeah, so bronzer's so great. It's definitely what you want for the summer. That gives you so much color and it's not people often get confused between a contour and a bronzer.
Right.
So with contour has a little bit more gray tones in it because you're creating a shadow. So it's very it's used for exactly like creating a shadow, whereas a bronzer is for adding color to your face and adding a little bit of definition, but not so much as like a shadow. So a lot of people love to use bronzer on the forehead because it is a product that you bring more into the center of the face. Whereas with a contour, you're keeping it right on the outside. It gets very specifically placed. Where with a bronzer, I use the biggest, fluffiest brush that I have, and I just kind of buff it, especially in like kind of the temple area, and then I bring it all the way in, and it just really gives you a sun-kissed look. And I love the Physicians Formula one. I mean, one, it's affordable, and also it's just absolute, like it's just a really gorgeous, warm color. I look like I've been, sitting at the beach all day, and it's
Like
it's just
sun kissed.
without the sun, damn it.
So wait, so can you use this? Can you use a bronzer as a contour, or you don't recommend it?
I mean, you can. I definitely do, but it's not going to give you the same like effect, because contour is made for creating shadows, whereas a bronzer is just for warming up the face. So you are, obviously, typically it is a brown color, so it does give you some definition for sure. But if you're looking for like that really sharp, very, structured contour, like I wouldn't use a bronzer to contour my nose, because it's just going to make my nose look, you know, nice and toasted from the sun. It's not going to like give it that kind of definition and give it any, it's not very defining. That's kind of the difference. Whereas a contour is defining, and then a bronzer is more warming it up, giving you a little bit of color. It can give you a little bit of a shadow, but not as much as a contour would.
Got
They're
it.
different colors.
And can you use it? Do you use it before or after your powder? Is your powder your finishing thing, and you put this underneath it, or is it vice versa?
It's vice versa. So
Oh.
I'll usually do foundation, concealer, then I'll do powder, then I do blush, which this is up for interpretation. A lot of people do their bronzer first. This is if I'm not contouring. I'll always do my blush first, and then I finish it off with the bronzer. I just find it kind of blends together a little bit better. But so I know a lot of people that do their blush afterwards, so it's kind of up to you at that point.
See, I never knew the order too. And also highlighter. Do people put the highlighter, which is above your blush, do you put that on as the last thing, or do you put that underneath your powder?
I put that on as the last thing if I want it to be bright, and if I want it to be pretty. I mean, I don't know if you can see, I got a little bit of highlight on today.
I love it.
And thank you. That's the iconic one, the liquid highlighter.
Okay.
And I put that on over top because it is an oil-based one. So I don't want it to be like moving my makeup around too much. I'd rather have that on top, so it just sits there and it's pretty and it's bright. I do know a lot of people that do put highlighter underneath, like their powder or what have you. But I mean, if you do it that way, you're just getting more of a subtle glow. Whereas if you put it on top, it's brighter and it's more out there.
And I remember last time you were talking about it, because we did show that iconic highlighter, and you said that it kind of like soaks in if it's on the top as opposed to underneath, where you said it could move because it is kind of an oilier formula.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of go with what feels right for you. I remember one time I put a ton of highlighter on, and then I put my foundation on over top just to kind of play around, see what it did. And it had a nice like kind of glow, but what I noticed was because the oil was so close to my pores, I had so much texture coming out of the foundation, because it kind of broke it up a little bit so that you were seeing all of the texture rather than having my foundation down first. That was just kind of the starting point, and that created kind of the canvas that I built on top of.
Right, exactly, because I always say that foundation and concealer is almost like you're creating the perfect canvas on which to apply color, like you're painting. If you have like gesso on a canvas, that sets it, and then you apply the color over it.
Exactly, yeah.
So let's take a look at the next one that Michelle recommended. Now, here's another type of bronzer. How is this different? This is the IT or IT Cosmetics Ombre Radiance Bronzer. This is a matte glow. So this is a subtle radiance. It is all day. Oh, it's waterproof and it's budge proof. We just talked about that. And it contains anti-aging collagen and peptides. This is a slightly more expensive one. Why do you recommend this one?
So I think like if you're going for and you want something that's a little bit more expensive, this is the one to go for. Like it said, it is very waterproof and budge proof. So if you think about it, you're putting your bronzer, most people really put the bronzer on top of their forehead, which is where you sweat the most.
Yeah.
So I've found that like there has been times where I've noticed that I've kind of sweated away my bronzer. So this one is so good if you really want it to stay all day. Like if you're going to the beach and you want to look a little bronzy and you want to put something on, that's the one to go for. It is extremely high quality, like it's such a high quality product. I put it on there because I'm a very like, I love, beauty on a budget, and I love kind of, finding really good formulas that are extremely affordable for everybody. But I mean, I also believe in, there are some skincare that's just worth the money. They put a lot of work into their formulas, and It Cosmetics is like a really reputable company. And that bronzer is just like, I mean, if you are going to be out all day and you want to look all bronzed up, that's the one to go for because it's not going to move at all.
Well, see, that's what I love too, is every single time, you've come on, you've shown beauty on a budget, but you've also shown like the iconic. So these are more higher end products. I like seeing a mix of both. And here's another one that I think also is, it's a higher end product, but explain to us why I love this look right off the bat. This is the Gemstone eyeshadow palette. Now, there's 54 colors in these different types of palettes. These are matte glitter. This is a professional makeup line. And they said that this one is a long-lasting waterproof eyeshadow. Like I said, it is at a higher price. So tell us, why do you recommend these?
Yes, so definitely a trend for the summer is a bold eye look. So big, bold colors. I have seen, I mean, I'm planning on getting my hands on some of these palettes for Amazon Prime Day, but and also you can you can get them individually as well as the whole set. And it's just, they are so stunning and so pigmented, and it has a nice balance of the matte and then some of the shimmers. I have seen people literally raving about these online and just creating the most like super cool looks. I know that a big trend for this summer is purple eyeshadow, which I love. That's my favorite color. So I'm like excited to try some of those. So even, I mean, I know a big trend is even if you just get, because I know we talked about, you know, getting out of your comfort zone and bold colors is something that a lot of people are a little bit standoffish with. But I find if you get just your finger and kind of rub it into, let's say a matte shade, and then just pat it on top of your eyelid, like you're in trend. Like that's awesome. Like, I know that, I mean, I see online people do these in extremely extravagant looks, and with just, it's so intricate and so like unique, and I'm sitting here and I'm going, oh my god, like, but then you have to look on the other side, it also looks gorgeous, just something simple, and that's super in the summer, like just, and that's why I recommended those palettes, because they're pigmented, they have every color you could possibly want. If you get multiple of the little palettes, you can create something that, is very artistic and very cool. But if you're just trying to stick with the trends and you just want to do a pop of color on the eyelid, those are super good.
I agree 100%, because I always say, let's be honest, I think some of these colors are intimidating to a lot of people. That one, we don't know how to apply them properly. Two, they're so highly pigmented that I feel like I don't want to look like a peacock when I go out and have everybody, notice my eyes so much. So a lot of times I feel like we stay away from them. But like you said, that's a great technique where you can use this highly pigmented eyeshadow, but you can just dab it and you have a little more control over it. And it's not like you have to necessarily wear it like some of the influencers out there that are able to achieve these looks. And who knows if it took them hours? We don't know, Sometimes we just want something that looks nice and we can just go out and, like you said, have an emphasis or a similarity to a trend right now.
Yeah. So that's the thing, is the pop of color on the eyelid is the trend. So it's like whatever way you want to make it work for you, whether you want to do a little color in the inner corner, or you just want to have just your lid, or you want to do this big, smoked out, color. It's all up to you, really. And you're staying in trend, and you can stick with what is known to you. You can stick with what's comfortable with you. And then once you kind of get a little bit more comfortable with color on your eyelids, then you're able to play around with it a little bit more, right?
No,
The more,
absolutely.
yeah, once you wear it once and you get a few compliments on it and you're like, okay, you see yourself in the reflection of the window or whatever, and you get used to it. That's the thing, is it is very intimidating. I remember, I think I wore this blue eyeshadow look one time and I went out and I was like nervous, I was like, oh my God, like this is a really, bright color. I know everybody sees it. So it's kind of like, it is intimidating, but once you build up that kind of courage and that confidence, then I mean, a pop of color is such an easy trend to rock, and you can do an easy application and have it look super trendy.
Absolutely, because I mean, at least you tried it. I would go on Instagram and I would look, oh, can't do that, can't do that, can't do that. Because I'm like, I'm not going to even try that. That looks too crazy for me. But it's nice to know that you can stay on trend and still feel comfortable, I think, in the way you see the trend. And that's fine. That's perfect. The next one we want to show everybody. Now, I have to ask, it says, this is Kate. And I wonder if this is Kate Moss. This is Rimmel Lasting Finish Lip by Kate Nude Collection. Now, there's several colors. They all look like they are in the nude category at a terrific price. Why do you recommend these lipsticks? They look so rich and creamy. I love them.
Yeah, so this lipstick has been my favorite. I wore that lipstick for one of her lipsticks for the wedding, and it's creamy, it's pigmented. I find I have a really hard time. I have very like dry lips. So I find that like if I'm wearing a really matte lipstick, or it's taken me a while to figure out what I like and what feels good. I'm also like very like I feel really like weird when I have stuff on my lips. So it has to be something that makes me feel really comfortable and also is pigmented, because I'm not looking for a gloss, I'm looking for a lipstick, right? And I found these ones are like so good. It is the nude collection. I put that one down because that's the lipstick that I have. But the nude collection, if you look through the colors, there are still quite a few, like a bright kind of color ones, right? You've got a little bit of almost a red or a little bit of a peachy colored one that, if you use that, if I use that, that might look like, a pop of color on the lips, or like almost like a bold lip, right? But then the nudes are just gorgeous. The formula is awesome. Like it just feels really nice. It feels like you almost just put on chapstick, but it's like pigmented, which I love.
So it's that creamy. It's that creamy. So Johnny says hi.
Hello.
And he said he does not go to social media often because he feels like it's too much drama. I know. So it's better to be here where we're just talking about fun stuff. So thank you, Johnny, so much for that comment, you guys. And continue to engage us in the chat right now. We're with Michelle Blass, and she is here. She's a beauty influencer, and she's talking about all things beauty today that you can find on Amazon, because we are very close to Amazon Prime Day, which is coming up on Monday. Another one. Now let's talk about skincare. I'm really interested in this because I know everybody's going to kill me. I don't exfoliate, and I probably should. This is the Philosophy Micro Delivery Exfoliating Facial Wash. How does it exfoliate? It's a good price. Is this a chemical exfoliant?
So this one, I'm actually like new to it. It's kind of a funny story. I had a bachelorette party, and my friend brought this face wash. And we all were like, oh my God, what is that? Like, it looks so nice. And she was like, oh my God. So we all used her face wash. And I was like, I love this. It really makes my skin feel nice. The exfoliating, I don't think it has any chemical exfoliants in it, but it does have certain ingredients in it that work as an exfoliator. I'm trying to think, like, I'd have to go and grab it and look at the ingredient list. It might have like like a licorice. It's kind of based on like natural exfoliants and things that
Mm-hmm.
I think it has like citric acid in it, which is works for exfoliating, and it's really good. I know it's a very like all in one kind of cleanser where it gets rid of all my makeup. It cleans my face really well. I was doing the before I was doing a two-step uh, face washing routine, like one with an oil-based one to get off all the makeup, and then next with a non-oil based one to really like wash my skin. And I found this one took off the makeup as well as really I felt it deeply cleansed my skin, which was super nice. But then also because I do have a dry skin type, I've always been, it's kind of hard finding a face wash for me because I don't want something that's too stripping, because then, at that point, I'm the type of person where if my skin's too dry, I get acne, which is like super weird. People like get super confused about it.
I'm totally confused because I thought it would be like if the skin was oily, then you would be more prone to acne than dry.
So it's funny because I've had so many conversations about this. Basically what happens is if my skin is stripped of its natural oil and it's like super dry, my body overproduces oil
Oh,
and that naturally occurs in the skin, and it just, because my skin is dry and it's like really tight, then it really gets trapped under the skin, and I can get like some bad cystic acne as well because it's just really under the skin and it's just a buildup of like way too much oil. So the more moisturized my skin is, the happier it is because I do have that really dry skin type. But I've talked to a few people who also have a very dry skin type, and they've said the same thing. If they wash their face and don't moisturize, like they're like screwed the next day because it's just so like it's such a reaction that your skin has.
oh, absolutely. I always feel like if I don't do a whole routine at nighttime that I'm so used to with moisturizing and everything, I can't sleep because my
Yeah.
skin is so dry.
Yeah,
It's
same.
uncomfortable. It's like
It's
tight or
tight.
something.
Yeah. I
Yes.
find the same thing. It's tight. Like even when I get out of the shower, I have to moisturize right away, or else I'm feeling like I'm gonna crack.
I know, me
I'm
too.
like, oh my god, it's so tight.
And I use like even I know maybe you're not supposed to do it, but I use like night cream for day cream sometimes because I feel like I'm so
No,
dry. I always
I've
feel like
used that as well.
yes, because a little bit of lotion does not do it for me. I've got to like slather myself so I like slide off the bed sheets at nighttime. You don't have to have so much lotion on. And speaking of lotion, you guys, this is actually, and we're talking about serums. This is by CeraVe. This is a retinol serum for post-acne marks and skin texture. This refines your pores, resurfaces your skin, and it's a brightening facial serum that contains retinol. That's a mouthful. Explain this to us. What is this?
So it's funny, retinol is so important for anti-aging and people don't really think about it.
I don't.
This one, the CeraVe one, I like it. It's accessible, it's a good price, and it also is a really good formula. I think it's like a 2% or something like that. It's a lower percentage of retinol. A lot of people you can go to a dermatologist and get a prescription retinol. And what it does is it really speeds up the process of your skin, like kind of shedding. You know how it's regrowth.
Exfoliating, uh-huh.
It is exfoliating. So when you start with a retinol, most people, and I know I did this, you start with it like once or twice a week and then build up to every night because it can be a bit irritating for the skin because it is a very like strong ingredient, and it's super important. It resurfaces the skin. It helps with like anti-aging in the way that it really kind of exfoliates, and it is a chemical exfoliant, but it just absolutely like changes the game, helps your skin resurface a lot faster. It speeds up that process, and it's just I use it at night. because there are quite a few things that you actually can't, or not that you can't, but you're not supposed to mix with it. So I think on the list as well, I put like a vitamin C serum, and
Oh,
those don't go well together because the retinol is very like exfoliating. You don't want to be putting it. So at night, you're not going to put on your retinol and then like a lactic acid or something, because that's just too much exfoliating for your skin, and you don't want to risk having a reaction or having something happen with your skin. So I find but the retinol is like holy grail for anti-aging. I mean, I'm using this one because it is a lower kind of percentage of the retinol, which then you just kind of increase with age. So I found like, I'm in my 20s. I definitely want to be cautious and like, aware of what I'm doing with my skin to make sure that, I age gracefully. But at the same time, like I'm not gonna go out and go to a dermatologist and get like a high percentage of it, because I'm not dealing with a lot of acne scars or sunspots or wrinkles. Even like that's just something that it helps with. So you kind of got to go based on your skin for sure.
yeah, absolutely. And also, you can always just, like you said, go to a dermatologist and see what they recommend in regards to exfoliating. Here's one that also. It looks like a lot of hydrolonic acid. I don't understand this one either. So you guys, let's have Michelle explain it. This is the ordinary peeling solution and hydrolonic face serum. This has alpha hydroxy at 30% and BHA, when I'm not sure what that is, at 2%. It's a peeling solution. And hydrolonic acid at 2%. This helps fight blemishes and improves the look of your skin and also the texture and adds radiance. And it's two things. So I would want to get it just because I'm so curious. What exactly is this and how do you use it?
Okay, so the AHA and the BHA so that's a chemical exfoliant. It is very strong, so you want to be cautious with it. I use a really small amount. You basically just want to cover the face, and it's on for 10 minutes. That's it.
Daytime
And
or
then
nighttime?
I use it sometimes. I'll do it on like a Sunday.
Oh, okay.
And then just kind of do it. I mean, I typically do it in the evening because then I'll do the rest of my skincare after it. But that's a product that you want to be cautious with and do a skin test with, because it is a pretty strong exfoliant, and it basically, the AHA and the BHA together, it makes a chemical reaction almost, where it's not. I know when it says peeling solution, that kind of freaks people out. It definitely doesn't, it's not like a chemical peel. It's not doing, it's
Like
not
peeling
doing
your
that
face
much.
off.
Yeah, no, it's not doing that much, but it does really almost like melt off that dead skin that you have on the surface, and it leaves you super bright. If you do use it, make sure you don't use any retinol or vitamin C or any sort of exfoliant like a lactic acid or niacinamide. Don't use anything like that after you use, just moisturizer. That's what I do. After I do it, I just put moisturizer on and then move on from that. And then the next day, you want to kind of stay out of the sun or just be really cautious, because your skin is very vulnerable at that stage, because it's all new skin. It just completely like gets off all the dead skin. And a lot of people ask, what's the difference between a chemical exfoliant and a physical exfoliant? And chemicals are better for your face. I mean, really, it's up to your own interpretation, because it is a very like controlled substance. Whereas like if you're doing a physical exfoliant, like you don't know how, like you could be scrubbing too hard and causing micro tears in your skin, right? So it's physical exfoliants are excellent for your body, because your body, the skin on your legs and your arms are tough.
Right.
Whereas your face is very like delicate. That's why I say make sure you're doing like a little test patch with the ordinary AHA and BHA product, and because you want to make sure you're not having a reaction to it, but it's also gentle enough and controlled that it's not going to damage your skin as much as a physical exfoliant. So that's why I suggest that one. And I've had mine for about a year, and I'm not even halfway through the bottle. Like it lasts a long time because you're not using that much all over your face. It's not like a clay mask where you're like absolutely like coating your face. It's just a thin layer, 10 minutes, wash it off, and you're good.
So after one use, like if I were to purchase it or anybody out there were to get this product, after one use, do you see a visible difference on your skin?
Yeah, so definitely like last year I went through a really intense and like surprised. I was really surprised. I went through quite a bad acne stage, and it was all like around here on my cheeks. And it was just out of the blue. It was just really took me by surprise. And I was really upset about it. And I just went and bought absolutely everything I possibly could to try and fix it. And this product, it actually like it went viral online, so it was hard to buy, but I eventually was able to. I bought mine off of Amazon, and I was eventually able to get it because shipping was taking forever because it was like basically sold out everywhere. And I definitely saw a difference with acne scars and like dry skin. So like I found that it really, the next day I might have a few like flakes on my skin that I would kind of just like pick off because they're like falling off. But it also like really helps get really, get out. I mean, I find I have quite a few like blocked pores kind of on the chin area and even your nose, right? And that it really sucks all of that out. It's really, really
Ooh.
great.
That's
Yeah.
good to know, you guys. That's good to know. Now, here's another one. We were just talking about the importance of staying out of the sun. So I wanted to show you this. Michelle has recommended Neutrogena Hydro Boost Moisturizing Water Gel Sunscreen Lotion. Now, this is an SPF of 50. It's water resistant, yet I love this. It's not greasy and it's oil free. So tell us about this product and why do you like it?
So this product, it has been, and I found this out last year, and it was the only, because I think I went through like 10 sunscreens to try and find one that didn't leave a insane white cast, that wasn't super oily and gross. Also, I have pretty sensitive skin, so some stuff would burn. Like I was just not a fan. This is the only one, and I'll swear by it, that was comfortable to wear, that was lightweight. It has no white cast. So if you're a person of color and you have a darker skin tone and you're having trouble with, how weird.
It can look weird, yeah.
It looks kind of gray. It looks just not good when you have a white cast being left. This one, it's actually blue, which is funny. And it just completely melts into the skin. It's incredible. I love this one. I use it strictly for my face because my body, I don't really care. I'll just use the spray one. But like with my face, it's one that is just, I use it every day. I don't think I go a single day without sunscreen on my face because that's so important, right?
And this is a lightweight sunscreen. Like you said, you would wear sunscreen first, then you would put on your foundation, concealer, powder, whatever, but you always put the sunscreen, and you do it all the way down to the neck, or do you stop at the jawline?
I go all the way to my chest. It does depend on the shirt that I'm wearing, but yeah, I'll go all the way down here, chest, neck, and face, and also the tops of my hands, because that's where you show age the first. So it's your neck, your chest, your face, and your hands. That's where it gets, that's where sun damage will show up the first.
Oh, that's right, you guys. I never even thought about that. So now, if people wanted to follow you, you've given so many awesome tips today, so many wonderful products that you guys can get right here on Amazon Prime Day, which is only a couple days away. How would people follow your beauty tips, watch you on social media, all that kind of stuff? How would they go about doing that?
Yeah, so I'm very active on Instagram. My Instagram name is Michelle, the letter U, and then portfolio. So Michelle U Portfolio, that's my Instagram handle. I do lots of IGTV videos, going through doing my hair. I did that yesterday. And then like doing makeup looks, the whole thing. And then, and that's the best place to find me. And I'm I will answer questions. If I'm good at reading my DMs on there. So that's probably the best place to get a hold of me.
Oh, awesome. Do you ever do videos where you collect all the questions from people and then answer them on your videos? I'm sure people would love to hear like what like sunblock and skincare and all that kind of good stuff.
I've done that with a live a few times, but it's not on my profile. So I'd love to do that and then do an IGTV video for that, because that's where I've been posting most of my videos, or I'll do stories and talk to people there and answer questions there. But I would love to do a live or a Q&A video and post it on my account. I think that'd be great.
Oh, cool. And then also, do you have a Facebook, or are you primarily on Instagram?
Primarily on Instagram, yeah.
Oh, awesome. And then one last question. We were wondering, do you have any tips for upcoming summer trends with color, or things that we should be looking out for, things that you advise or recommend for us to try?
Yeah, so there are quite a few awesome trends. A huge one that I've been seeing that I personally love, I tried taking a part of it, is it's called golden hour eyes. So it's just gold glitter on the eyes, and it's so easy, it's so simple, it's such a nice glam, but it's very summer. Like, I just was like, oh my God, I'm gonna do this look for today. And it took me like 5 minutes. Like, it was quick, and you're looking trendy. And also another one that's super, super easy, which I love easy. That's just, it's practical, right? Bronzy eyes. So you can use the bronzer that we were talking about and put that on the eyelid, and it looks very, it's called like the sun-kissed bronzy eyes. And that's also a trend for the summer as well. So definitely those two things, if you start using those, and that's very comfortable. You're not going out with a, huge color on your eyes. It's something subtle, it's something glam, it's something super trendy for the summer. That's something I would definitely try out.
Is that just gold eyeshadow?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Oh, wow, how cool. We love it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Michelle, thank you so much once again for coming on today and talking about all sorts of trends for summer, skincare, beauty, color. We loved it. Thank you so much. You've got to come back.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Oh, awesome.